What's good, my people? It's your boy 336 Money, and you are now tuned in to the 336 podcast. I'm here today to tell you that I am ahead, not up to date. Yes, that means I am from the future. Your today is just my yesterday. Spoiler alert, ain't shit changed. What's good, my people? Again, you are now tuned in to the 336 podcast, which currently airs on Sundays. But make sure you like this video and subscribe so you don't miss any of our other segments which drop throughout the week. This is just a great week. We got a lot to talk about. This is going to be a very ecstatic podcast. I'm super excited about this. Let's get into it, man. Leak Roe v. Wade opinions spark controversy, which basically this is the federal law enabling abortion, basically. Roe v. Wade was the case that, pretty much put this law into effect, and leaked opinion, which is highly uncharacteristic of the courts. This has gotten out and it's become public, and it is sparking a lot of outrage across the nation, as you would think that it would, because it, deals with abortion. And, a lot of people are talking about it, and essentially they're making some good points in this opinion. Roe's argument, it wasn't that great. Like, the whole premises of the argument was like really terrible, but somehow they won in court, and they're going back to revisit this law. And let's just talk about it, guys. This is God's work. This is God's work at the end of the day. Not sure how you guys feel about it, but if you've been following this podcast for quite some time, you understand that this method of consensual genocide, especially in the Black communities, which the percentage is so high, it just has to stop. It just has to stop as well for everyone, not just the Black community, but especially the Black community. But when you look at the numbers of everything, we talked about fertility rate a couple of months ago, and it hasn't changed. It's only getting worse. You guys have to understand, in 2040, we'll peak. We'll peak at our population. And by the year 2100, by the end of the century, guys, our population is going to drop 1 billion. 1 billion people will leave the earth. The average age will be 80. Like, the average age of people will start to be 80 years old. So it would be a bunch of old people walking around in 2020, and it's just going to be terrible, guys. I mean, we got to stop this consensual method of genocide. I mean, we look at Nigeria. By the end of, this century, Nigeria's population will drop 600 million. They will go from 800 million to 200 million. And it's all because of the fertility rate. And of course, the fertility rate, what, compounds into that is not just women not wanting to have as many kids or having as many kids or not being able to have kids, but abortion. That plays a big part in it. And, I like what people are doing. They're speaking about it, and they're, coming up with this pro-choice thing. They say, my body, my choice. And I like that because it has a ring to it. My body, my choice, pro-choice. I'm definitely pro-choice. My body, my choice. I like that. It's only one issue, though. I think the difference between me and other pro-choice people is we're talking about the wrong choice. I think most pro-choice people are talking about the wrong choice. And the choice that they argue is the decision and the ability to be able to make the decision of whether or not to get an abortion. My choice is, let's talk about being pro-choice for having unprotected sex. Let's talk about that. Why do we not argue that? Why are we arguing, well, if I just want to, be careless and with my body and have all of these unprotected sex and be at risk for other various issues as far as STDs, that's me. I can choose that. Why not choose to not have unprotected sex? Why talk about how we get abortions because we're not financially stable and we have them with guys that aren't shit? And why not talk about your choice to have sex with these financially unstable guys? Let's talk about your choice to have consensual sex with these ain't shit people, if that's the case. How about we talk about those choices? I don't think that this abortion is the method. It's not the way to go. When you look at it, we need to be talking about different things. You know, we need to stop putting so much energy into fighting for this pro-choice thing and put more energy into rehabilitation and development, you know, developing our structure. Why are we not talking about, okay, what are ways that we can continue to develop people into becoming productive citizens? What are more ways we can offer resources for people who get pregnant and maybe are not in position? And most importantly, what are more ways that we can make better choices when deciding to have sex? You know, I'm pro-choice and you guys are pro-choice, but the choice that we're talking about is two totally different choices. And I think that is the problem with pro-choice in America. Roe v. Wade opinion sparked this controversy. Protesters even plan to go inside of Catholic churches on Mother's Day and protest, which I think is completely insane. We're just going to interrupt Catholic churches because most of the members on that Supreme Court and who are, you know, putting forth this opinion are Catholic. That's just ignorant and it's insane. And we should just stay out of that. You guys could just protest wherever, but to interrupt church service, especially Mother's Day, that's crazy. It's insane. It's unacceptable. We got to do better. We have to be better, and we have to make better choices when we get in that bed. So new study shows that vaccinated people make up more than 40% of COVID deaths since January. So we're looking at that and we're like, what? You told me to get this vaccine to still make up almost half of the COVID deaths? And, you know, my body going through all these changes and all this stuff, man, this stuff is crazy, man. Vaccine, when you look at a number like 40%, you start to really question the effectiveness of the vaccine. But what it is this is Omicron. You know, we talked about Omicron. We talked about stealth Omicron, all right here on the podcast. So when you look at it, you know, the death toll is starting to rise. While still very low, it's starting to rise in some states, such as Wisconsin. And this is just what the data is showing us right now, guys. If you're vaccinated, I still think, you know, 60% is better than 40. But however, it's still not the full protection. You know, they say when you're vaccinated, you should still do certain things, still be safe. And this is also another sign that, guys, we may not just yet quite be out of this pandemic, as Dr. Fauci, who's been like the face of, you know, COVID knowledge and information, did say we're out of the pandemic, but then later retracted his statements. Why and what took place there? I don't know, guys. You know, he could be a puppet. He could be controlled. I don't think we're out of this thing. And we won't get into the depths of that. But yeah, vaccinated people make up more than 40% of COVID deaths since January 2022, going crazy. NASA plans to launch naked pictures into space in hopes to attract aliens. Yes, so it's two things we got to look at here. First of all, where they going to get these pictures from? Because, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, bro. Can they just go on OnlyFans and steal your pictures? Because the aliens, they not going to be able to subscribe to your OnlyFans. They're not going to be able to pay for it. I don't know. But the second most important thing I want to talk about is, what are these aliens that y'all talking about? Is this like a subconscious confirmation that, yeah, we know it's somebody out there? Because, you know, we sending these naked pictures into space in hopes to attract aliens. But it's like, okay, what aliens? What y'all talking about? What you talking about, Willis? You know, if these aliens are here and they exist, naked pictures. I hope she got a BBL and all that. And you know, I hope she got her teeth done. I think they're going to pull up. You know what I'm saying? If I'm an alien and I see the BBL, I'm pulling up, man. I'm just keeping it 1,000 with y'all. But nah, actually what it just will be, it'll be a drawing of a naked picture of a man and a woman, and they will be waving like, "Hey, alien, how you doing?" They'll be waving, and that's all it'll be. They're not really going to get naked pictures, so you don't have to delete everything in your iCloud and your Google Photo Drive. You're good. You're okay. They're not going to go and take all your naked pictures and post them. It'll just be a drawing, and they'll be waving just to look more inviting to these aliens. If you out there and you're intelligent enough to understand, because it will not only just be this picture, it will also be a depiction of DNA. So where if there's a super intelligent life force, they'll be able to kind of decode it. They'll see and they'll understand, okay, this is their DNA and this is what they look like. And I think they're inviting us to pull up. I think they want to take us to Chick-fil-A. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on, man. So don't delete all your naked pictures. We still need those. All right, man. We got to talk about this. Dave Chappelle was attacked, and I know you guys probably know. I know I'm late. Oh my guys, I'm so sorry. You know what I'm saying? We had to talk about some other things this week, but Dave Chappelle, we definitely gonna touch on it because now we're getting more information on what took place and what occurred. You know, he had a show this week, and if you guys seen the video, an attacker just ran on stage and tackled him, and essentially this guy attacked Dave Chappelle. Oh man, talk about a great security team. I mean, it's not like super great because they didn't like catch him before he got to him. Like I seen this guy grab this lady before she ran on the court at this NBA game. But they got there and I mean, they just beat him down. Like they love Dave Chappelle. They said it's time to earn this check and we're gonna beat the brakes off this dude. If you could see the pictures of him, yikes. It's like they really got into him. So yeah, that happened. Dave, it's like, yo, who would want to attack Dave Chappelle? Like, that is crazy. But then when we start looking into it, we actually figure out, okay, yeah, if anybody wanted to attack Dave Chappelle, it would be somebody of this caliber. And what it was, someone who had threatened Dave Chappelle on Twitter prior, and this was pretty much a picture that this person posted of Will Smith smacking Chris Rock. And they said, Dave Chappelle, you come for my trans homie again, I swear to God. Whatever that means. But that's what he said. And this attacker later was found to have been carrying a gun knife. It's like something that really looks like a gun, looks heavy metal, but I guess it flicks into a knife. And it was a very sharp knife. He took that there. And, you know, it's interesting. Dave Chappelle, he was attacked. And, you know, he says his son came to him immediately to tell him how much he loved him. Because, you know, that was a scary situation. Let's just be honest. You know, we've seen what happened when black men are talking on stage and they get attacked, man. You know, rest in peace to my boy Malcolm. We can see how bad those things can take a turn. He later, 2 days later after this, he had a show and actually was joined by Chris Rock. And, you know, he says his son came to him and oddly enough, the only thing that could calm Dave Chappelle down was a picture in his head of Jamie Foxx in a sheriff hat. That is hilarious. I wish I could have watched this. He performed at what was a very intimate setting of only 70 seats. It was like a last minute deal. You had Kim Kardashian there. Diddy was there. You had a lot of other celebs there. Jeff Ross was there, who was also performing, and Chris Rock. And, you know, Chris Rock came on stage and joined him later, and they also joked about their recent attacks because, you know, he was attacked by Will. Dave Chappelle said, I was just attacked by some homeless guy with leaves in his hair. He said, at least you was attacked by someone of note. And Chris Rock responds and says, man, I was attacked by the softest nigga to ever rap. So that was pretty funny how they're making jokes of this. It's seems like they're over it. Dave Chappelle was able to talk to the attacker. He said, I just had to talk to him to see why would something like this happen. And he says that his grandmother was forced out of her neighborhood due to gentrification, and this was to bring attention to her plight. Now, let's just be honest, guys. They trying to kill Dave Chappelle. You know, Dave Chappelle is an important man. Like, we lost another guy. We lost Kevin Samuels this week, which was very controversial. And you guys can look at that episode as well on our channel. But, I mean, Dave Chappelle, that would have killed us, guys. To lose Dave Chappelle, one of the greatest, in my eyes, the greatest to ever do it. I mean, just what he's done, what he's meant to my childhood and what he's meant to a lot of people, the joy he brings, the comedy that he does, how outspoken he is. And I mean, I think these are the reasons why someone actually tried to kill him. If you guys are able to look at this weapon, this knife gun, it's like, how did he get in there with this? How did he get through security with this, man? Although he may be trans or he may be in the LGBT community. Yeah, I mean, this weapon should have not been able to get past security. And they let it happen almost. And he has a very close seat, close range. It's almost planned. And I feel like Dave is protected by God. You know, when someone attacks you with this weapon, and he got to Dave, man. He got him down. They wrestled. He got him down. But he was able to make it out unhurt, unharmed, alive, and able to joke about it just 2 days later in the same city. as he looks at Diddy and said, man, I'm in the same city where you sat in the car and, Biggie died. I hate this city. And he walks off stage, man, in jokingly fashion with his cigarettes. But they trying to kill Dave, man. We got to protect and pray for Dave's security and his safety. I'm sure he'll move a lot different going forward. I want you guys to comment what you think about what we talked about today. Very interesting. A lot of things going on. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our videos. Also, turn on those post notifications. It's your boy 336 Money. I'll see y'all again next week. Y'all stay safe, but most of all, stay sucker free out there.